y'all will please join Alfred in putting your phones on silent. Thank you.
Good morning. It's 9:30. Ready for us to get started with our Ed Policy Committee meeting for the first one of this session. So members, thank you for being here. A couple of my colleagues noted that this was the only committee they had here all day, so we appreciate your commitment to serve in this committee. Yeah, really. Yeah, really. Okay, at this time, we'd ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
Senator Butler. Here. Senator Figures. Here. Senator Hatcher. Senator Hovey. Here. Senator Kitchens. Here. Senator Price. Here. Senator Shellnut. Senator Smitherman. Here. Senator Stutz. Here. And Senator Chesteen.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, we have a quorum. Seeing we have a quorum, we'll get started. Clerk, would you call the first bill, please?
SB 66 by Senator Weaver.
Good morning, Senator Weaver.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for allowing me to be here with you today. I have a little cleanup bill I'm bringing on behalf of the University of Montevallo. Their board has voted on this. Very simple. They want to change 12-year terms to 8-year terms, 2-term limit, and would remove the requirement that the president be an educator.
Okay. Any questions? Senator Stutz?
I move a favorable report.
Okay, Senator Stutz, favorite. Senator Smitherman, second. Okay, with Senator Hatcher coming in, let's get a clean roll.
Senator Butler. Aye. Senator Chesteen.
Aye.
Senator Figures. Aye. Senator Hatcher. Aye. Senator Hovey. Aye. Senator Kitchens. Aye. Senator Price. Aye. Senator Shellnut. Senator Smitherman. Aye. Senator Stutz.
Aye.
Favorable. 9-0.
9-0. Good. The bill's given a favorable report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and
Senator.
committee.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Senator. Okay, clerk, would you call the next bill, please?
SB 74 by Senator Chesteen.
Okay, members, this is a bill that we had passed last year out of committee. We didn't have time to get it across the finish line at the end of session. The Alabama Math Science Teacher Education Program is a loan assistance program that we're renaming the LASEA program that will provide loan assistance in acute shortage areas other than math and science, especially in special ed. If there are any questions on those, I'll be happy to answer. Senator Smitherman? Okay, Senator Smitherman favorable. Senator Hatcher second. Any objection to use the previous roll? Okay, seeing none, bill is given a favorable report. Thank you, members. Clerk, would you call the next roll bill, please?
SB 72 by Senator Chesteen.
Okay, again, this is a rename of the ReEngage Alabama Grant Program, and it changes the minimum age. Previously, it was if you were in an associate's program and got the scholarship, and then you opted out and entered into the workforce, you had to be 25. We're lowering that to 22, so that if you get back into, you want to apply for those scholarships at age 22, you would be eligible for those. If you get an associate's, okay, and then you opt out, you finish your associates, and then you go to work, and then you want to come back and start to work on your bachelor's degree after you've had an opt-out period, you can re-engage and reapply. And rather than being 25 years of age, it's now 22 years of age. Okay? All right. Any other questions? Senator Stutz?
I was just going to comment on that. I think where we see that, where I've seen it is nurses that get a 2-year degree, get out and work, and then they find out to get a promotion at work or something that a BSN is required, and so they're going back to work on their bachelor's. And so I think it's a good move to make it easier for them to go back to school earlier.
And this loan assistance helps bridge that.
Yeah.
Good, okay.
Yep.
Hear a motion for a favorable? Senator Smithman, second. Senator Butler. Okay, any objections to using our previous roll? Seeing none, the bill is given a favorable report. Thank you, members. Okay, clerk, would you call the next bill, please?
SB 149 by Senator Woods.
Senator Woods, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Good to be back in Ed Policy again with you, and I appreciate you allowing this bill to be on the agenda for your first meeting this year. This bill is one I'm very excited about. It addresses a couple of groups in the state that need our attention, our veterans and our school teacher shortage that we all face in every part of the state, and I believe this bill can help with that recruitment effort. It establishes a military veterans temporary certificate to create a pathway for qualified military veterans to teach in K-12 schools in our state. It not only would strengthen our teacher recruitment efforts, but also creates a clear pathway for veterans to continue to serve our state by bringing their leadership, discipline, and real-world experiences into the classroom. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Senator Smithman, have a question?
No, I was just gonna move favor report.
Move for favorable?
We do have an
We have an amendment. Senator Kitchens, you want to offer those amendments?
Yes, I do have an amendment here, and this is an agreed-upon amendment, but a few things that came up through the department. The biggest part here is changing the effective date to give the department time to fully implement this program, and I do believe it's a friendly, agreed-upon amendment.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's friendly.
so offer the amendment, a second on the amendment. Senator Smithman. Okay, any objections using the previous roll on the amendment? All right, the amendment is adopted. Move to the bill. Senator Figures.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My question is, what is the difference if there's someone here from the Department of Education that could explain what is the difference between the regular teaching certificate and this one that the veterans will get?
Sure, and we do have folks from the department here. I think I might be able to speak to that, and they can correct me if I'm wrong, but currently.
I don't know how to correct you, so I asked for someone from the Department of Education.
Well, they can nod up or down or shake their head.
Well, I would rather hear it from them,
Oh, yeah, well,
Senator,
come on. Yeah,
if you don't mind.
Dr.
Thank
Mackey.
you. Thank you.
Senator, thank you. No, we're very supportive. This is a good bill. So what it does is it creates a temporary certificate while a veteran is working toward a permanent certificate. And you know, technically they could get an emergency certificate, but that's kind of a lower standard. So what this does is set a higher
Right.
certificate for
Well,
a
you
veteran.
just, I mean, with you saying that it was temporary until,
Yes.
which means that it would still be the same as the others
Yes, ma'am.
eventually. Okay, thank you.
ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks.
so much. Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Chairman.
you, Dr. Mackey. Senator Stutz.
What did the amendment change the effective date to? You didn't say what it changed it to.
It changed it to the 27-28 school year.
From where?
It was a year prior to that, so it moved it out 1 year.
Oh, you got
Yeah, yes, it added an extra year to that for this.
It's gonna take a year and a half to get ready to do this?
By the time the administrative code, if I may speak to that, is updated, was recommended to give them a little bit more time. Once the law goes into effect, it still has to update. They have to adopt their policies and procedures. I'm with you, Senator
They can't
Stutz.
get that done by October?
I would like to see it done by October as well, but I wanted to be respectful of the request.
Maybe the superintendent could answer that as well.
While we have him here this morning, let's get our answer
Thank
from
you,
him.
Senator, thank you. So it'll be done before the beginning of that school year, but getting it done by the beginning of this current school year would be difficult because of just the Administrative Procedures Act generally takes about 8 months after you all pass it. So it has to go through the Senate, go through the House, be signed by the governor. We don't know when that'll be done, but then it takes us about 8 months through the Administrative Procedures Act to actually encode it so that we can offer it. So it wouldn't be ready by the beginning of that. I mean, that's just the way the Administrative Procedures Act works, the fastest we could move. Now, the sooner it gets out of the House and Senate, and the sooner the governor signs it, the sooner we can start that process. We're required, basically it takes about 50 days before the board can vote to put it in action, and then there's a period before, under administrative procedures, it actually becomes law. So it just takes several months to do that.
Senator
Well,
Figures, Senator, go ahead,
My
Senator.
We'll
question
move it as
then is
fast
if we don't make it effective, I mean, it seems to me that it ought to be effective so they can get started working on it. If the law doesn't go into effect for a year and a half and they don't start working on it until the law goes into effect,
We would start working on it as soon as it gets signed by the governor. So So no later than, that was the intention at least, no later than the fall of 27, because people don't normally start on a pathway. They could, I suppose, but until the beginning of a school year. And so there's not a way to get it in place for this coming school year for somebody to be started by, say, August.
For fall of
Fall of
26.
26, yeah, and that's why.
So
we
you're saying the
started
earliest would be the fall of 27?
For somebody to start the school year, yes, sir. Now, they could start the process earlier.
Okay, Senator
We can do
Figurs?
it either way. Now, I will be fine either way. We're trying to make sure it was clear that we wouldn't necessarily have people in August of this year that could do this just because of the timeline.
I'm not trying to belabor the point, but we've got a teacher shortage, and we want to help the veterans, you know, and let them get involved sooner. It just doesn't seem to me like it ought to take almost 2 years to get it done. So.
We're fine either way. If you want to go back.
Mr. Chairman.
Senator Figurs, you have comments?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is why it's important to have everybody that is affected by a piece of legislation at the table.
Okay.
This is why it's important that we have everybody who is affected, or every agency or department that's affected by a piece of legislation that we do, that you let us know what it takes to do legally what we are asking you to do. So if it takes that long, I think a good compromise, perhaps that the amendment could say, instead of that school year, that you would do it as soon as possible, or using the right language or whatever, so that when you get it, so in the event that it's shorter than the 8 months, if there's some way we can put an urgency on it with the Administrative Procedures Act, that you could, it just may happen that he could do it. But the superintendent also, Dr. Mackey also said that it would be no later than that school term too. So perhaps if the amendment could be changed with that, they can work towards that, Senator Stutz. Is that satisfying?
I agree. And I mean, I've obviously never read the Administrative Procedures Act, but if it takes 8 months to do something this simple, we probably ought to look at it.
Yeah. Well, that's what I said. Maybe we could put some urgency on it.
Well, I mean, it's just talking to the senator here, it says beginning, I realize you'd have to have another amendment, and he said maybe you could amend that on the floor, but maybe you could just say no later than the 27, 28 year or something. But we'll work with the senator, maybe if y'all could move it
Yes.
before it comes to the floor to get that however you want it. Our intention is to get it as quickly as possible, though, and so I understand what you're trying to do. It's we just don't want to overcommit, because we do have to work through that process. But it would not take, to your question, definitely would not take 1.5 years to do it. But we're always trying to think about, well, when, like if this is one of those things that passes the last day of the session, and therefore we can't start on it until the either May or June school board meetings, and then we have to go through the process, it just would take a while. And that's what that's the reason.
To your point, Dr. Mackey, that's when we had it in our first committee meeting this year.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that very much.
Senator
Then
Hatch,
push
you have a
the same
comment,
thing to
then
the
I'll
House.
Senator Hatch,
once
you have
we
a
pass.
comment, and then Senator Sullivan.
But wait, Mr.
Yes,
Chairman.
yes, ma'am.
You could redo your amendment, right? I mean, couldn't you just make that amendment on your amendment and take that into consideration with LSA here and be done with it?
Well, I don't think we can do it in here right now, talking to John, but we can definitely have something before we get it to the floor.
But can't we, I know they have to write it or whatever, but can't he turn that in now, and then it would be done and we will have approved it, is what I'm saying, rather than waiting until it gets to the Senate floor to add another amendment. So your bill would be just a clean bill.
Okay, yeah, according to
Okay.
John, he's not sure if we can do that legally, but we will. To your point, we have to do this, we have to get it cleaned up.
Yeah.
It shouldn't take that long with the need that we have for.
Well, then maybe he
interest.
should just wait for his amendment, is what I'm saying. since it's just going to be one amendment on the floor.
Right, if you're comfortable.
Making that
with-
correction.
with-
I am.
withdraw it, the amendment in committee, and then we'll add it on the floor if you're comfortable with that.
Okay,
I'm comfortable.
all right. Okay, so do I have a motion to Senator Price, second?
Second.
Having voted on to pass the amendment, I vote that we
Withdraw.
withdraw the amendment.
Okay. Any other questions?
Not about the withdrawal, but after that, I'd like
Okay.
to be ready.
Okay, so any objection to using the previous roll then? Seeing none, so the amendment has been withdrawn.
I second.
Okay, Senator Hatcher, you got a comment?
Yes, for Representative Woods and Dr. Mackey, are we assuming, Senator Woods,
I still like that. Either one's
please forgive me. Are we assuming these individuals have experience already?
Yes, sir. One of the requirements under this program is that they have at least 60 credit hours of college credit with a minimum 2.5 GPA. They have to pass their section of the practice exam that they're planning to be teaching in. They'd be assigned a mentor for at least the first 2 years of their employment. So we're trying to hold their hand and get them up to speed. Nothing about this would shortchange the requirements to be an educator that we currently require. It just gives them a little bit more time to actually get their education.
Senator Smitherman?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First, I would like to ask the Senator, when you do your amendment, I heard Dr. Mackey make a statement and said that, can't quote exactly what he said, but in essence is that, you can put in there that, in other words, something about doing it, what you said, Doc, doing it as soon as, if possible. Yeah, it's something of that nature. So it'll get close to what you want and gives him flexibility enough that, he can, if he gets some glitches or something, then he could do that. So I would just ask you to make that your amendment, and I support it on the floor. That was the first thing. The second thing is that what you were saying about the bill and the teachers, I in the coaching world, it's generally like that a lot of times. They get it, I think, what is it, Doc, a year that they have to, right now, 2 years to get it, when they come in on a temporary? Isn't it a year or 2 years to get certified?
It depends on what they're on. If they're on an emergency certificate, they have up to 4 years to get, because those are folks that are basically having to go back to college.
Right.
And, but then if they have a, what we call an alternate certificate, they have a year or 2 years to do.
That's the one I was thinking about. That so I think it's great that they get the 5 years, because it's going to be needed to do that. And the last thing, I'm just glad we're doing it for the people in the military, because I'm there every day with kids in the high school. I coach. We're in the playoffs now, and I can just tell you, if you can bring in people who have a military background, who are used to formalities, making sure everything is done in a certain way, it's going to have a very positive influence on our kids. And so I look at it strictly from that standpoint, that it's just a role model, being accountable for what the kids do. I think that you have that built into these people who are coming out of the military. So I just wanted to make that point as well as something that's very, very good in terms of what your bill does.
Thank you very much.
Senator Woods, I too think you have a really good bill. We need more structure and more discipline in our classrooms, and I think these veterans would definitely bring that into the classroom, which would be a welcome addition to our education in the state. And they have met the minimum. They have some college. They've passed the praxis in the field that they're going to be teaching in, so they understand where the direction they're heading, and then they have an opportunity, Dr. Mackey, what is it, 4 years, to pursue their full teaching certificate?
5 years.
5 years. So I think you have a good piece of legislation here. Do I have a motion moved for favorable? Senator Price seconds. All right. Any objection using the previous roll? Seeing none, the bill's given a favorable report, 9-0. Thank you, Senator Woods. Appreciate your bill.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay. Clerk, would you call the last bill for us, please?
SB 168 by Senator Chesteen.
Okay, members, this is the 3 queuing bill that we have had. We passed it last year in this body and got stuck the last couple of days in session. Senator Smithman.
I'm just ready to move favorable report.
Favorable?
And I'll say this, as I said that I had a chance to experience phonetic teaching. My mother was the pilot teacher back in the day in Shelby County. She was the pilot person when they started teaching phonics way back in the day. And I've had kids and grandkids who've gone through this. This is me saying this. This is not the official thing, Doc, but it's through Dr. Spark. Because Spark had you look at a word and you supposed to, after looking at it, you supposed to be able to read, you know, and what I found as a parent is that it limit the circle of application of reading because they only read words that they seen or saw. But phonetics allow you to use the sound and the syllables to break a word down that you may look at it and you may not even know it, but if you know your vowels and your syllables, you know, and we had this thing that, you know, the vowels, we had a rhyme to it, A, E, I, O, U, and sometime Y, you know, and so and so that's why I just wanted to say that this is, I think is very good,
Okay.
and at the proper time I'll move.
Okay. Any other questions? So Senator Smithman moves for a favorable. Do I have a second? Second by Senator Kitchens. Any objection to the previous roll? Seeing none, 9-0, bill's given a favorable report. Thank you, members, for your attendance today.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Mr. Chairman.
We love you, baby.
What time's tea time today?
Mark just sent me a text message, and Lance decided to schedule a Fred meeting at 12:30.
I'm sorry, I was in the middle of technical stuff. What do we do?
That's all I'm gonna say to you.
I promise I ain't playing without you.
All right, that's all I wanna know. That's all I wanna know. I don't care where it is. It can be from a cow pasture to a I'm all right.
And we do 149.